Stampin' friends. Tonight we're going to use the Springtime Joy Set. It has several cute little springtime sayings, and it says kind of a long thing. Instead of saying Happy Easter, it says Easter is a lovely reminder of new beginnings. And it has an Easter basket, flowers, butterfly, chicks, bunnies, and lambs. So what I did was start by just stamping and cutting out the little lamb and the little bunny and the little chick. And then I just colored them kind of like I wanted to leave them white, because I thought that was kind of pretty. So I just kind of edged them in pink to kind of make them stand out. And then I haven't decided yet which card I'm going to put which thing on. So I left these blank, and I'll just grab my blends as we work tonight. So maybe that will make it a little easier to make it go a little faster. And then I left these little chicks in circles. I didn't cut them out. Now this does not have any of our nice dies that cut these out. So I did have to do this by hand. But one way that makes it easier to cut out by hand is if you imagine that you're cutting out a die. So you don't need to get super close. You can just leave a little bit of edge on everything. So you can see here that I just didn't really worry that much about how this was going to turn out. And I just kind of cut it as quickly as I could to try and imagine that if I was going to make a whole bunch of cards. So then this one I did in my little crumb cake, and that I just edged it in the dark crumb cake and then colored all over with the light crumb cake. I should probably go back and maybe put a little bit of pink on the cheeks just to make it look a little more fun. Okay, so I had mentioned that we would use celebration paper. So what I did for this card, I was imagining using these greens. I actually haven't used this paper yet at all. It's one of the raspberry, it's like a raspberry looking paper. And so I thought this might be nice to kind of alternate like this. And maybe I could put it on the front of a card and create something this way. So this was kind of what my plan was. And then I happened to see a sketch where they had taken the edge and just popped it down into the little round part of a circle. So what that will do, and if I can do it correctly, because I kind of have to thread it through there, and I want to get it right on the apex of a circle. Let's see, I don't know if I can get this where you can see it. There you go. So I'm just trying to get this where that it looks even, and then I'm just going to punch. Oh, and I think it moved on me right at the last second when I was trying to hold the thing. Let me try one more time. Okay, let's see. And once I get it like I want it, well, that's still not quite like I want it. Apparently it sounds easier than it is, huh? Okay, so there I've got it kind of like I want it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just punch it. And then what I was thinking, once I have one like I want it, then I can get the length and I can get the shape for that one from this first one. So like, let me start, yeah, see how, I kind of like how it's just kind of rounded right like that. So to make it a little easier, I think I'm going to punch it on the back side, because then I'll be able to see what I'm doing. I have it lined up at the bottom, and then I'm just going to slide it in. And I think that that'll make it a little faster for me. So we'll see. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. Actually, let me just take my scissors. I'm pretty sure I'll be faster with scissors than I am with that. But at least I did use it to get the original shape so that I can replicate it. Should make it fairly smooth. There we go. Oh, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Okay, just do one more. Like that. And then this one. Check it and make sure that I have it like I want it. Little edge off right there. See how the rest of these are. A little more off that side. It's got kind of a little point on it. Okay. So anyway, you can see here that I can, let's see, I don't know if this one will, yeah, I guess it can. One little bit here. Okay, push that out of my way so I've got a pretty background. So now you can see that I will just put these in a little line, alternating. And then, let's see, I might think this one looks better. And then glue them together. And then maybe add just a little bit of ribbon across the bottom here, maybe some white, maybe this white taffeta. This is the crinkled taffeta ribbon, and I think it's really a pretty ribbon to use with a lot of different things. And you can also, it also dyes nicely. So you'll just put this white across here, and then you can imagine putting some pieces over the top, like putting maybe a white here and putting a little brown bunny. And then adding your sentiment across the bottom. So I will work on this, and I'll have this available for you to see in a blog post that will make it make a lot more sense and be a lot cuter when it's finished. But I don't want to take any more time with this because this looks like it's kind of a little bit fussy. So it's one of those things that, like, if I thought about it a little better, I probably would have done a better job. So I'll set that one aside. And now I wanted to show, now this, you remember this paper, this is the one that has the colors that are like this. It's called like paper blooms. So what I was thinking with this one was it would be really pretty to have, let me find my little sheet that I was using. There we go. That it would be really pretty to have a background like this and use some similar colors. Well, luckily the back of this, there is a paper that's in this that the back of it looks like this, and then it has all of the colors that are in the paper in little round splotches. So what I did was I just cut it out using our circle dies and cut out several of these. And so you can, I don't know if you can see, it has texture in it as if it's kind of been watercolored. So what I was thinking with that, it would like add interest. So see, you can see this is just a regular soft seafoam, whereas this is the ones, these two have been like, they're from the designer series paper, so they look like watercolor. So I was thinking that we could make a layout with this that would be kind of cute if we just layered it on here like that, and then created a little spot to put our bunnies and our little lamb. So what I was thinking is that would just kind of make kind of a cute look, maybe some ribbon across the bottom. Now I did use the true pink on this, whereas this is kind of a coral, but I think it kind of blends in. So you can see here that I was thinking that this would be a really cute card to make, just to add a little bit more color, I guess. And then I was thinking I probably should have put a layer of the Night of Navy, but then this ribbon would be super pretty under here. And this is the one that you've seen me do it a million times. I love to make bows with this tiny, tiny ribbon because it's so sweet and cute. And I think it would be cuter also if it had a layer of Night of Navy around the edge. That would be super sweet. And then let's imagine some of these sentiments that we have. We have Easter is a lovely reminder of new beginnings. And then we have may the new life of spring bring you joy. That's a sweet one. And let me find the welcome spring is the other one. So that would be kind of a cute one to put either up at the top or at the bottom to kind of make a triangle with our with our two circles, and then the third thing can be our sentiment here. So you can see, how we love to have triangles. So I was thinking that would be a cute thing to put just down at the corner, and you'd be kind of all set with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off so that I remember what I was planning with this. You can see there that that has kind of a wild color scheme going on, but I think it'll make a sweet card. All right, so next I was using this, which is my favorite. This actually, I believe, is supposed to just be soft sky, but I think that when you use these darker colors, it really brings out the intensity of the color that's in this paper. This is the flower and field, and the back side is the vine. And has the white with the Coastal Cabana around the edge, or, you know, it's probably supposed to be soft sky, but I just liked how that looked with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this one to my Coastal Cabana layer. Now, you know, the sizes of these are fairly easy. They're the 5 by 3 3/4, which I'm layering on top of a 5 1/4 inch by 4. So they're just, you know, the 1/4 inch bigger is all it is. And here I'm just trying to get equal spacing. A little scooch that way. Well, now I want to scooch it this way. I'm never happy. Okay. And then this, I think I would like to put it up on dimensionals, because that just kind of makes things look cute. And then also it's easy if I decide in a minute that I want to put some ribbon in, it's easy for me to just add my ribbon whenever I'm ready. So you'll see how easy that is whenever because, you know, like when you're designing a card, sometimes I have participated in things where you're supposed to be fast. And that can actually be a lot of fun, because you're supposed to, like, what can you do in an hour, basically. And it's a lot of fun to try to make a card in an hour and see how it turns out. But, okay, so now you can see I've got it on the Granny Apple Green. And then what I was thinking was, if I had these kind of at angles, like just maybe the same angle on the outside piece and then the inner piece going the other way. Or, you know, it could be, it's totally up to you. It's not like there's a pattern for this. I'm just saying, could that be cute? And then put your little guy there, and maybe one there, and maybe our little chick over there. I just thought that could be kind of a cute way. It's different because they are not all the same size, so that makes it a little hard to use these little guys. But what I was thinking here is it looks cute. He's kind of yellow, kind of like these flowers here. He's a little bit lighter, but, you know, I could blend him a little more and make him a little darker, because I think this may be the dark daffodil delight and he's the light daffodil delight. But anyway, what I was thinking was that would be an easy way to blend these together. So then what would be cute for our flowers would be to color them in some of the darker shades, like the Coastal Cabana and maybe the yellow for our flowers. And that would be super cute. So there you can see that one. And then this one, I just used the regular, just some regular cardstock just to show kind of a different look. And then I just used this. So what I was thinking here would be cute is to just add, is that cut right there? It sure is. Whoops, well, I won't use that one. But imagine that it looked like it wasn't cut. So what I thought would be cute, we've done this before. We've run like ribbon across. So like this cute little Seaside Spray in color ribbon that has the, let me see if I can show you. It has the craft in it. I was thinking that could be really pretty, and then just kind of across there. Let me go ahead and cut it so it's easier to see what I'm talking about. So that would be tucked under, of course. And then our little bunny here could be sweet. And then maybe just to add a few more embellishments, you know, we could put a little chick on as well, and maybe put an Easter basket on, and that would kind of add to it. Then I was also thinking what we've done in the past is have some sprigs of flowers. So I don't know if you remember the Forever Ferns. I was thinking that could be really pretty in our light green, and that would bring it kind of all together to put a little bit of the light green there and add it in. So let's go ahead, if you're not too bored, and I will go ahead and try to do some coloring on here. I'm going to use my dark soft sea foam, Seaside Spray and my light Daffodil Delight for my flowers. So I'm just going to go ahead and color. And these are so tiny that if you didn't have the blends, this set would, I think, would be fine for it, especially like if you have the brown or whatever, you know, if you just wanted to leave them white, you could totally do that. And like, I think, let me show you, this would look cute if I had left it white. It would still pop. That's kind of one thing to think about when you're planning this. If you have a background that is white, you always want to color whatever the object is you're putting on it, obviously. But like this, you can leave this white, and you could do the same thing I've done with the blends with just your Marvelous markers and just kind of outline here and there just to kind of make it a little more visible. And then you would be able to, I think, color this just fine with regular markers, and you wouldn't necessarily have to have blends to make this set super cute because they're kind of tiny. You can see that if all I was doing with markers, you wouldn't be able to tell if this was blended or not. Okay. Then I'm just going to do 2 in the yellow. Which I chose the 2 smaller ones. Like I'm having a little trouble getting it to color well. I don't know if it's me or the marker. And then I'm just adding the dark Seaside Spray to the other one. Goodness, and just coloring that made it look so much more vibrant. So I'm just imagining here having this. So let's just go ahead and see what we might do. Because this is one thing that I was thinking about with this basket. Kind of the problem is the basket isn't cut out, and it's going to have white there because I'm going to want to color my Easter eggs a different color, of course, than the basket. So let's talk about that for a second. I think what we can probably do when we stamp this, and I'm just going to kind of show you here. Okay, that's good enough, I guess. It's a little light, but so like you would go ahead and color your basket. Okay, I think I'm going to want to use the dark. Let me find it real quick. Well, maybe. Dark crumb cake, yeah. I think that other one was so light that it just looked, yeah, it kind of looked gray. To color my basket. Okay, you can see that it doesn't really matter necessarily how you color it as long as you get it all colored. And then you can go back in, if it seems like you've colored too dark, remember you can always go back in with your color lifter and just lift up color in places, and that will make it also look like you didn't overcolor it if you think I've overcolored there. Okay, and then just want to color the eggs. There we go. And I think I want to use some pink. Let me find the, there we are. There we go. This is the light. I'm going to put this on his little cheeks. Just a little. On each little bunny cheek. You can't see what I'm doing, sorry. There we are. I'm just putting a little circle on each cheek just to make him look a little bit happier. And then I'm just going to color each one of these. And then maybe it would be a good idea to have a light purple in here. So I'm going to use the light purple posy. I think that makes a good variety. And then what I was thinking when I cut this out, if I go to put it on here with my other things, it's going to look a little strange. It's going to look like I needed to have cut this out, and that would be really difficult. And I'm not willing to go to that much hard work. So what I was thinking is I could just take this. Now this is the dark soft seafoam. And I was just thinking if I color inside there and don't leave any white inside, it might be okay. It actually probably might match better if you have the paper blooms that I was talking about earlier with the little circles. It actually looks like it really matches that really super well. I need to put it up there where you can see it. Matches that really well. Whereas it may not quite with the cardstock, but it's still, I think, better, of course, than white. And probably better than I could do by trying to cut it out in the inside. So then now I'll just cut the outside. And to do that, I'm just, if you can see here, I'm just kind of going along the edge and I'm not getting too terribly close. I just want to kind of follow the shape of the basket. So when it goes out, I want to go out, and when it goes in, I want to go in. And then usually when I get about right there, I just go ahead and cut off the paper that's next to it just so I can have an easier way of holding on to it. And then just kind of turn. I always think to myself, turn the paper, not the scissors, like the way that they told you in what, first grade? I need all the help I can get with cutting out. I'm so glad we have dies for most things, but I think this little set is worth trying without dies. It's just so fun. Okay, so now to me, that made that look so much better and so much more like it's part of it without, instead of having just the white showing through. I think that puts them kind of all on the same level and makes it look really super sweet. So, you know, and it doesn't matter that it's green. It could have been any color that you might want to have for the background. You know, whatever everything is kind of laying on. I just think that can definitely add. So there's your little tip for the day. So I think I will just, if you don't care, I'll just go ahead and finish this card. And if you get bored, I won't be offended. But might as well finish one card, don't you think, for the day? There we are. I'm just going to pop that. Oh, yeah, I forgot this was the one that's weird. Maybe I won't finish the card. I'll do this part. There we go. Looks good that way. I'm glad you like it, Lisa. I'm just putting some adhesive on both sides, remembering to roll over so that I can not have to worry about it sticking and being difficult to start again. So then I'm just putting this right. Whoops, that looks like that has a little funny spot there. Oh, it's okay. All right, so I'm putting this right in the middle. And then I'm just going to go, but one way to check this, I don't know if you all do this all the time yourselves or not, is to check and get on both sides of the 8, because the 8 goes all the way up. And so you can check and see in your grid paper. And if you don't have grid paper, that's one of the things it's good for, is checking that things are straight and that they are where you want them. That like one side of the card and the other side of the card are in the same place. Okay, so there, I've done that. And I'm just going to check and be sure that I've got it what looks like the middle. Fairly centered. And same here. Oh, that one doesn't look very centered. Let's see here. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to go back on here with some more of our Stampin' Seal. And just get it. Don't want it to be in a bind on the back. What I mean by that is I don't want it to be going like it's going the other directions, because that will make it look like it's pulling when we stick it down on our card base. Okay, so I'll just stick that down. See if I have it even at the bottom. Okay. Alrighty. So then I'm just going to put a tiny bit, oh, I did already. Okay, tiny bit of adhesive. Then I'm going to put this here. Use some dimensionals because I do like dimensionals. And I could have put them out a little closer to the edges. There we are. All right, and I'm ready to put it kind of right in the middle as best I can. There you go. And then maybe put my bunny, let's see, I was gonna use this color bunny. My bunny here, and my little Easter basket, and my little chick. Then where did my happy spring go? Here it is. I think I wanna do that on a piece of this color as well. So let's do welcome spring, that'll work. And you could, nothing says you have to cut it out exactly the same shape as the sentiment, but that's usually what I do. I usually get out the classic label punch on a long and thin piece like this and just punch it. You know, if you ever have any trouble with this, you can always use, sometimes I just kind of do this, but you can always use a Post-it to hold the edge so that you can tell what you're doing. Get it just like you want it. One thing I'm doing here is trying to get it centered. It's kind of challenging because the spring is pretty good size. And the welcome kind of has a slope to it. So, now that definitely had a slope to it. Now I start talking and then I get distracted. But it kind of goes in a, it's not straight, I guess is my point. And the letters are not equally the same size. So, okay, there we are. I want to get that G. And I want to get this side. Here we go. Decide what I think there. There, I think that's probably okay. And then just maybe you can tuck it right here at the bottom of this, whoopsie, right here at the bottom of the circle. Or we could put it down here along the edge. That would also be cute. I hope you all have a great weekend. And I appreciate you stopping in. And I'll have these cards up on my blog for you to look at soon. Because, yeah, I know that it's a little hard sometimes when I just kind of am like, this could be cute. You could do something with this. So I thank you all for watching. And I hope you have a great night. Bye-bye.